The cloud. Here we go. Dum 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 dum. Let's play. Dum 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 dum. Let's play. Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you're having a great morning, day, evening, wherever you are when you watch this. Welcome to the next episode of A Dearybury of a Day. I am so excited about today's episode because in the true spirit of play and spontaneity, I'm trying something very new inside of the whole new that is A Dearybury of a Day. And I am doing it with one of my favorite people on the planet, Miss Dyane Smokoroski, also known as Miss Smoke. Miss Smoke, welcome to the show.
Hi,
I'm so
excited to be here with you.
Look, it is the thrill of a lifetime for you to be on the show with me. And when you reached out and said you wanted to be on the show, and you said you wanted to bring a special group of people with you, normally we just do one person, but you said let's bring a lot, and I said let's see what happens.
I love it.
Tell us who's there with you.
Okay, so come around up here, girls. Come on up.
Yeah,
so
come on up.
These girls are from our middle schools, and one is from our virtual school.
Okay.
These are my Bills coaches and from the EI school as well. And these girls make magic in their buildings every single day. They help teachers use technology and classroom strategies to also be a little more playful. There you go.
Yes, I love that. And Dyane, and who are you? Tell us who you are.
I am Dyane Smokoroski. Everybody calls me Smoke. It's a lot easier to remember, I believe. And I am the 2013 Kansas Teacher of the Year, inducted in the National Teacher Hall of Fame in 2019. But more importantly, I am the coordinator of digital literacy for the Wichita Public Schools, which means I nerd out with everybody like these people. Yay!
I love it. I love it. I love it so much. And thank you for bringing all of these people onto the show. Let me explain to you how it's going to work. Just like Harry Potter puts us into a magical house with the hat, we have a magical wheel, and we're going to spin this magical wheel, and it is going to determine what play type we embrace for today's Dearybury of a Day. So when I spin this, then you will have some choices within that category to see how we play. Let's spin the wheel. Y'all ready?
Should we say big money as we go?
Big money, big money. Big, no. There's no money. Play, big play, big play. Big play. Come on, big play. Big play. Don't stop. Storyteller, yes. Okay, storyteller is a great play personality, especially for a group, okay? So look, I'm official. I have little cards, just like I'm Drew Carey on the
Wait, pause. Go back to the one of you that has your photo, your drawing. There it is.
Yep. A student did that. Okay, storyteller. This is perfect for this group. So I have two choices. One is what had happened was, and the second one is kitty, spelled like kid and not kitten. There's two choices. I'm not telling you which one they are. I'm going to say what had happened was, and kitty. Which way would you like to play today?
What happened was ...
Okay. What had happened was you are going to decide as a group what story you would like to share with me about something funny that has happened to one of you. And it must start with the phrase, well, what had happened was, anybody got a good story for us? While you are thinking, I'm going to share a story with you to give you time to think. And I want you to know, well, what had happened was I burned my backside. You want to hear this story? Do you want to hear this story?
Yes.
I told you, look, storytelling is one of my favorite things, and I'm pretty good at it. So while I'm telling my story, y'all think about what had happened was, and if anybody's got a good one, okay? Well, what had happened was I used to live in Africa, in the West Africa specifically, in the country of Senegal. And when I lived there, I lived in a mud hut with a grass roof, no running water, no electricity. You heard me say no running water. You might be thinking, well, where did he use the restroom and take a shower? Well, right beside my hut, I had a really fancy hole in the ground. And that hole in the ground was just for purposes of depositing human waste. We'll be professional. But remember, this is also playful, so it's going to be funny. One day, I was needing to use the restroom, and because I am an American and we need a place to, how can I say, sit, and we don't squat, like traditional people over a hole. I had these cement blocks on this side of my hole that would allow me to have a seat. Okay. And what had happened was it was very hot that day. It was in about 120 degrees. Okay. 120 degrees. And, sometimes, as is the case when you live in a country that's not your own, your stomach alerts you to a quick need to run to the restroom. So I ran to the restroom, 120-degree heat, and concrete cinder blocks just doesn't mix. It was a little warm as I sat down. And I had 2 right angles burned into each side of my posterior. Yes. So you see what had happened was I burned my backside, y'all. True story. That is a true story. All right. Has anybody got a good story they could share that started with, well, what happened was? Has anybody got a good one out there? Let's hear it. Come on and share it with us. Come on, be brave.
Surely there's something that's happened in your life. In the last
come on. I see you stepping forward.
I got one.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yes. Give her a big hand. Give her a big hand. Okay. Tell us your name.
Katie Strickert.
Katie Strickards.
Strickert. Yes.
Strickards. Okay. Welcome, Katie. Tell us what happened was.
Well, what happened was and it's potty humor. You just got the potty humor happening. And so this is what happened. So what happened was my husband was changing my soon to be 16-year-old's diaper when he was little. So he was little.
Okay.
So this was 16.
So he's 16 now. He was when he was little.
This is correct. And, when he went to, clean them all up and go, what happened was some little toot, it came out. But, as does happen with young children, they're not always just toots. So he went.
Oh, no.
All over the wall.
On the wall.
Yes, it was on the wall. The changing table was over by the wall. So he went on the wall. Wow. And my husband yells and he's like, Katie, come help me. And I walk in and I turned around and I went and got the camera back in the day when we had to have cameras and took pictures of this and all of their issues before they yes, it was a mural of
a mural.
It was yes.
You called it a mural. That is, I will never undo that. Oh my gosh. Well, here's the beauty of that story is he's 16. That means he's close to graduating. If they need a good photo for the yearbook around that senior year, you've got some good things. At his graduation party, at the very least, you got some good ammunition for a great time.
There may be a girl or something that comes along someday that I got to share that with too.
She needs to know all about that. She needs to know all about that. I love that. Thank you for being brave and having the courage to share your story with us. Give her a big hand. Telling stories is a great way to open up your morning to play. Everybody has got a funny story, a silly story. And if we had time, I know that we could go through the room and all of you would have a story to share. But just remember that at the heart of a story is a connection between you and the person is listening. Hopefully, you connected with my story in some way about Africa. I certainly connected with the story about the young kid. I've had that experience as myself when I was little, according to my mother. And I definitely had it with one of my nieces. So I can relate to that. And I'm sure lots of the viewers can relate to that. Thank you so much for sharing the story. Let me ask you this before we wrap it up. Dyane, I'll ask you to be the representative for the group since you are the magical person who brought us on here. If you had to leave school today and have a Dearybury of a day, how would you play? What would you do?
I would look at the world. Let me pop back over here for a minute. I would look at the world with new, bright, shiny colors.
I love it.
So if you look around Jed in his beautiful space, it is full of color and just happiness. That's how I would look at the world. One of my favorite things that you do is as you take your walks outside and you look at nature,
Yeah.
and he snaps photos and draws over them to turn like shrubbery into animals and things like that. I would look at the world of where are those moments of play, because those are the moments of joy that we've missed the last couple of years. Let's find our joy in the day.
I love that. And that's the whole point of a Dearybury of a day, is to get folks motivated to just have moments of play throughout their day. And you know what? It changes your whole outlook. It sets your day on the right path. And I appreciate y'all just playing with me. Stick around after we end the recording and let's chat just a little bit more. But 2 things I'm telling everybody is always to remember that you matter and to play pretty. Thanks everybody for joining us for this episode of a Dearybury of a Day. And we will see you next time. Bye.